about value. So, and thank you very much. You write for the blog, you write for the magazine, and thank you. You're here talking with the audience. So you wrote an article for us called Thinking Futures in Interesting Times, right? So I want to go back to one of the things you wrote, one of your quotes, and you said, and I'm going to quote, "So futures are inaccurate and so are maps, but we have good use for them," right? So if it's not accurate, why should we do it? In other words, why we look into the future anyway, or what's the value of looking into the future if it's not accurate?
Yes, that's one of the tricky questions that you get usually from people who are very focused, who are very driven with efficiency and productivity. So they think, why should I think ahead? I mean, basically, you don't know what how the future will unfold. So why should I look into it? If you look into the history of war, which then you and follow the strategist, they usually say, the worst thing that can happen is that I'm getting surprised. And this is actually, I think, one of the tricks, not to be totally surprised by things unfolding in a direction you have never thought before. So we don't know how the future will unfold. We have no idea if this will become the future or if there will be another direction. But at least we thought several futures and we are prepared to move into that direction. And while we are walking into that future, you will actually find out if this future is interesting or that, or how you can steer around. And I think not to be prepared means that you simply are dependent on the assumptions of other people, which may work, of course. But I think the downside of not thinking ahead is that you will never be able to create your own future, to design it. And this is, I think, what most companies miss. They basically make business. They're in a certain in a certain industry, in a certain supply chain, but they gave up to design their own company or to design their own future, to change something. They're just waiting that something happens or somebody tells them to do so. And if you think as a person being, it's like you're waiting for a coach to tell you move this direction or that direction. Good coaching doesn't work that way. That's why it feels weird sometimes. We don't like it. We usually want to hear move there, move here, but that's not that won't work. So open thinking and designing your own future is the trick. And as the future is not set, which is fun basically, because if it would be set, it would be fate. Move ahead and try to find out where you can really change significantly the world and your life and the values.